Very good evening, people of the internet, from wherever you're watching from this particular video. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Kunguru87, and on today's topic, where I was discussing with a couple of friends about the societal pressure our fellow men are being put through. So I know the topic is a wide one. I know the topic is it's quite a vast one, and everyone has got their own ways of how to deviate or how to dilute these things or how to emphasize or how to filter. But my focus again will go to the men who are in this particular channel actually. So once again, before I proceed, thank you very much for subscribing. Just to remind you, you can as well share this particular video so that it can reach the various men and kids or boys who are out there who do not know what happens or what's the next step to take. However, in this particular video, I'll be doing it in different parts. I'll be discussing on the do's and the don'ts for those who are in the particular situation as myself. So once again, thank you very much for tuning in and subscribing. So what do I mean by men getting pressure from the society? This is because when we are born as men or as boys, after those who've undergone the traditional, either the circumcision or maybe they've gone to the hospital, there's this thing we're being told from day one that you are no longer a boy, you are now a man. So there's some certain obligations that you find even in school. They say, hey, you're a man, you should stand up. So that's why most of the time you see, even when kids fall down, if it's a girl child who has fallen down, they'll be like, you need to go and pamper them. You start patting them, you start removing the dust where they're falling down. But when it's a man or it's a boy for that matter, you say musimuangalie, and you look aside so that they don't cry, so they become a man. You know that is very wrong, because people have started being hardened when they are very young. I don't know about yourself, but you can as well just comment on the comment section about the experiences you people of the internet have undergone. Also, another instance that I've seen where the men are being told to toughen up is for those who go or walk for far distance at schools. It starts at a very tender age, where the boys are being told you'll walk, but for a lady, because of the culture, they've been told that then they can be booked a bus or something close to that. Even there's a time currently in our country, Kenya, in Africa, they used to say this is what you call cultural education. The boy was told you can go and herd the cows and take care of the cows, take care of the cattle of your fathers or your uncles. But the ladies or the girls back then were being taken to education, to read in school. The men were being told it's only a man. For example, if the fees cannot be available, let's assume this family has got 5 boys and 3 girls. All the boys will be told, because the fees are not available, you can repeat the classes. But for the ladies, they'll be given the opportunity to continue going to school. So all this has accumulated and put pressure into men to an extent that they feel, or we feel, that we're obligated to do something by sheer hook or crook. That's why a lot of suicidal cases are happening is under men. Men are the biggest number, or they hold the biggest percentage of those cases of suicidal, because there's a lot of pressure that has been put to them. They cannot even focus well. It has reached a point that someone is saying, I've reached my final and I've reached a dead end. And apparently men don't ask for help from anyone. You just find someone somewhere battling some situations at home, battling some very high-end tough situations at home, but they'll never come and ask for assistance, because that's how we've been programmed. You're a man, you need to fight for yourself. You're a man, you need to stand up for your girlfriend. You're a man, you need to stand up for your family. The damages outweigh the benefits of this particular issue. So people of the internet, once again, let me remind you, take care of that person called a man or a boy who's with you. For those who are single mothers, have got boys, don't put a lot of pressure to them, like, no, you need to take care of me when I'm old. You need to no. Let them have the same lifestyle as a lady will have. This issue where people have been given food to eat and you give the small boy there bone soup or bones, telling him you're a man, you need to start toughening up your teeth, let the lady take the soup or the juiciest part of that particular fruit, is very wrong. I don't know why some people tend to be doing it, but most of the time I tend to say I disagree with this kind of analogies. Another instance I found that even when parents have gone into a particular public service with their kids, maybe there are 2 boys and 1 girl, or 1 boy and 1 girl, you'll find that the ladies they'll be given a seat to somewhere to sit. A chair will be given for them to sit inside that particular bus, or some space will be found, but the boys will be told, you can stand up, you're a man, you're a boy. So the pressure starts when these people are very young, very tender age. It ends up corrupting our brains, that it's like you're programmed. It's like a software has been programmed. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And that's why I've started this particular first phase of this particular video. I'll be doing at the early stages of when this pressure is being put upon men. You're being told, yes, you're a boy, you're a man. You'll be taking care of your family, so you need to start early. You need to start training your brain so early. Where did those things come from? It has reached a point where, to some extent, most of the women nowadays, you find them saying that I want a tall, dark, and handsome person. I want someone who's driving, because that's what they've meant to believe, that's what they're supposed to be doing. The other day, I had someone saying that it's only women who cannot be transferred differently in working station, but a man, you can take him from this county to this county, for those who are living somewhere this county, or from this country to this other country, but you cannot take a woman, because a woman is supposed to take care of the kids and family. Where did this thing come from? You've already made your own decisions. People of the internet, you can put in the comment section. I don't know if you guys have experienced what I'm talking about, but you can also as well just put in the comment section, so that we get to engage, we get to share what is this that really happens, that is really taking our families around. It is quite unfortunate. Another instance I've seen when you find a family that are inside a shopping mall or a supermarket. So the boys will be told they'll just pick one toy, but the lady will have to go and pick some cologne, they'll have to pick some lotion, they'll have to pick something. And now I ask myself, Kwani, they're both kids, why don't they get the same treatment as the other people? So it is advisable, people of the internet, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are just tuning in for right now, thank you for subscribing and sharing this in particular video. This video will be happening in phases, so this is part 1 of how men are being treated with society, a lot of pressure. So most of the time you'll find sometimes that these particular men have been programmed such that it has reached a time where they want to board even a matatu in a bus. So it's a public service, they want to board, and once you guys have already boarded, and maybe 3 ladies are standing and men are seated, or some men stand up, so that when a cop arrests that stops that particular bus, will you give an excuse? Oh, we are women, so we are men, so we decide to let the women sit? No. The judge or the law does not define how to treat this other person. It says that people should be treated equally. When the judgment comes, it will be upon the person who made a mistake. It will not be upon the gender. Even I've seen some job applications where they've written preferably women. What had happened to men? If it's a man, they're like, kidogo, you're there, but we're not feeding you. So what really happens? What happens next? People of the internet, you see, it is quite unfortunate how men have ended up, there's a lot of pressure that is building up in them. There's a lot of pressure that is making them like they don't want even the society to judge them wrong, that I'm a man, I'm supposed to provide for my family. If I cannot provide my family, then no one else will do. You end up killing your family, you end up killing yourself or committing suicide. It has reached a point where even people want to eat, but because you're a lady, you tell yourself that, you know what, I'll eat. You're a man, sorry, you know what, I'll eat the last. Who said that? Have you even checked the ratio of the people who are driving cars in their streets, or in Nairobi or Kenya per se, versus women? And the funny thing is that women are many than men worldwide. Statistically, it has been supported with scientific science, like mathematically. And you remember, numbers do not lie. But the men are the people who take lots and lots of risk. It's a man who will drive from here to Kisumu and is carrying the wife there because the wife does not know to drive. But the wife knows how to drive, but the wife is tired. Ask yourself, women are more than men. But it's only men that will be seen a lot of times. Even our prisons. Just check, just do our own scouting. The prisons, There are a lot of men's prisons vis-a-vis ladies' prisons. There are a lot of men who've been taken to a lot of cases of robbery, violence, murder cases, obtaining vis-a-vis men, vis-a-vis women. So what am I trying to say? We should try and come out of these particular issues you call you're just stamping you're putting the men into a circle that it's a men's affair. You need to start doing this when you're still young. It makes those kids fear being men at the end of the day. That's why nowadays I don't have anything against the other gender or the bisexual, but how did these people come to feel this thing? I ask myself that question. And the other day I was in church and the seats, most of the seats at some place were full, so some people were told to stand. And when ladies come, the seats are fine. I was like, how does that really even happen? People of the internet, we need to talk about these things. We need to discuss about this issue, because we are losing our men. Remember, women are more than the men, but we are losing even the small ratio of men. Men are the only people who take risks while trying to connect some bulb somewhere, some electrical things inside the house. But women, they're accountable. In my next video, we'll be now tackling the part 2, which is each and every ethnic community and their cultures, how they perceive men to be. I've already gathered some data, I've already gathered some words. I'll try and be very, very realistic to it, so that people of the internet yourself, you can see how you're hurting our generation. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for watching this particular video. See you in the next one.